I would not recommend anyone drives in VR at this frame rate. But, so has Le Mans Ultimate fixed virtual reality in the full release? We're about to find out, because this is version 1.0 of Le Mans Ultimate in VR, and I've been doing VR in LMU since they added it in early access. It hasn't always been smooth sailing. This has actually been the first time where it's just worked off the bat. There's been no crashes, no funny business, no trying to swap displays or anything like that. It's just working. I'm also in super high visual quality mode. Like, the visual quality is too high. That might sound weird, but my frame rate is not high. My frame rate seems consistent, but it's not high. So on the compromise of frame rate versus quality, we're too far on quality here. But we're going to roll with it and see. This is basically as good as you should be able to get Le Mans Ultimate looking in VR. I am on the Pimax Crystal Super, and my Alienware 490 is a sponsored headset from Pimax. So there'll be a link in the description and check it out. Let's see how it's going to be at Bahrain, basically. And you can just see, I mean, the detail on the wheel and the dash and the text and the track map where I can make out the actual corner numbers is normally I'm just not running at these visual settings. Like, I don't know what the frame rate is, but let's just say it feels cinematic. Like, I would not recommend anyone drives in VR at this frame rate, but I can cope with it because I've been driving in VR for years and years and years, so we'll use it as an opportunity to just see, like, wow, the visual quality is unbelievable. Like, the little reflections on the cars. I mean, this is much better visual quality than, say, Gran Turismo 7. You know, the back of the hypercars I think I saw there going through at Bahrain, like that kind of stuff in the distance is extremely sharp. But there I can see hypercars going around, sending it up here in neutral. Bit of damage on the front bumper. This is where VR is exceptional, like the peripheral vision. It seems the frame rate is a bit better here, so there might be some objects, objects around the track that are just being rendered kind of fully, and I'm sure with some tweaking in the settings I could kind of lose the environmental detail a little bit, and I could maintain this track detail and the incredible car detail. But this is fantastic. I mean, I've really enjoyed driving the new Mercedes AMGs. We go way too deep there, which is free content. I'm not too happy about how it's basically going into an iRacing model. I would say Le Mans Ultimate it seems like it wants to go into an iRacing model, but with a bit more included content. That's kind of how I read it at the moment. But we are here in free content, so I am enjoying it. And just again, like, I can see the corners, like on here, like we're going to go into 14 and 15, the last corners, I believe. This is going to be the pit entry, yeah. And I can look at the track map when my wheel goes down and see turns 1, 2, 3, turns 4. Like, that is incredible. My whole DDU is mad. Like, that is, it feels as clear as a real DDU in real life. Like, unbelievable. And I'm not running any kind of fancy foveated rendering here. So I'm just rendering everything 100%, like really using my 4090 to the max. And if I could get, if I could get more frame rate here, this would be, I would be able to recommend this. I think, subject to playing it more times with no crashes, I think I would be able to recommend it as the best VR sim racing game out there. And this is coming from someone who does like ACC in VR, because I've just been running it on my Pimax Crystal Lite at 120 FPS, and it's just been incredible. Big grid racing. So I've been brute forcing my way there. iRacing can be a little bit more jaggy, or you can deal, it gets blurry in the distance, like it has to do more funky stuff to maintain the frame rate. Again, here, this seems to be more just brute forcing it. So let me know in the comments already if you want to see some setup guides for Le Mans Ultimate in VR. And if there's any other headsets you want to see me try it in. But this is absolutely fantastic. It's a day-night race, so we can see there in the grandstands lit. I think we'll start to see the lights come up as well. Shouldn't be in first gear there, but that was a bit of a better corner. And I just do think that racing in VR is just the best way to do sim racing in 2025, 2026. It is a massive differentiator the PS5 could do for the sim racing games coming. Like, they could bring them out in PSVR 2. That would be like, why would I get an Xbox if that's the case? But just to put people's expectations in check, I always get asked, like, oh, is Le Mans Ultimate going to come to PSVR 2? Like, this is running on a top-of-the-range PC. Like, this PC is a beastly PC. And you can see with your own eyes that the frame rate is not really, I would say, acceptable for a console game. Because not everyone is going to be able to handle this frame rate. And I don't mean that like I'm some kind of like, oh, some VR champion. It's just like, it's just not a good frame rate. And you can see why Gran Turismo has gone for 60 frames a second and then reprojecting it. Like, to be honest, not a lot of people know about reprojection. Even when I was looking at Digital Foundry videos, I was like, guys, do you actually really know what this is? So I put my camera down the lens of the PSVR 2 to get some evidence of reprojection and how it works. This has no reprojection here, and that means that it's very sharp, but it's too sharp in a way. But look at the lights here. I mean, like, there's so many light sources with the nature of this Bahrain circuit. Like, it just feels like I'm actually here. It really does. The world scale is fantastic. Oh, surely not a track limit. Now, one lap later, have a look at this grandstand here, all illuminated under the night sky. So much track detail. I have to say, it's a hot day right now in the UK. Like, it's a VR summer, so everything gets a bit more difficult in VR. But maybe just being in these hot conditions and just seeing so much track detail. Like, I'm talking about the cherry pickers. I'm talking about the white pickup trucks there you see. I'm talking about the little shaded Marshall stands. All of the lights, kind of the drop off into the desert. You know, the grandstand there, the Ferris wheel. See grandstands back there in the background as well. More grandstands here, little ambulances. Like, there is an insane amount of track detail. Like, it's so... Bro. Who was that? Jose Maria Lopez. Surely he should be back in the Toyota, not driving that Lexus. Look at the pit lane there. I mean, I think we are close. Like, we are close to that promised land. I've made videos with Pimax, especially for years, because they are really into sim racing. They actually invested $2.5 million in Le Mans Ultimate, not in me. Come on, Pimax. And so they do care about sim racing. And I've made a lot of stuff about, are we close to monitor level VR? We're getting there. Like, this, what you're seeing right now, if this was at a better frame rate, we would 100% be past monitors. Like, I genuinely mean that. I'm in VR here. I'm fully immersed. The field of view in the Pimax Crystal Super is great. That's why the Pimax headsets are so bulky, because they have great field of view. You know, I feel like there is, if you want to look at this from a technical level, by the way, in the headset, there will be some blooming over the lights. That's the way that I think the local dimming and stuff works, or trying to mitigate it. So there will be a little bit of blooming over the lights, but the night sky does feel quite black, which is good. It doesn't feel grey. And yeah, I mean, we're so close. We're so close. What's tantalising now, and what is so tantalising close that I want to invest time in it, is actually, I reckon I can tweak these settings to keep what's important. Way to keep what's important, but get that frame rate up. And you might have seen my videos of using VR on a 4060 Ti graphics card, so whether you want to call it budget range or mid-range or whatever, but it's certainly not top of the end. Only 8GB of VRAM, which is not really acceptable these days. Shift protection coming in. Look at that send. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm not getting the in the heat, when in the sun in VR, you get like the phantom heat on your arms, but it does feel like a hot night in Bahrain. I am really getting that. It's hot in the headset here. Did we hit that apex maybe? Oh my god, that's so wide. That is super wide. So 3.4 seconds to Sousa. We're not going to catch him like that. Or maybe we will. Use all of the track limits. 2.6, yes we will. I'm not that good at Bahrain, as you might see. Like, I don't really play the F1 games that much. And so I haven't driven Bahrain in anger for a long time. I think we're going to catch this pack. Maybe it looks like Al Arthi in the BMW at the front of this. You can see the illumination going on. I mean, the carbon, there's some bits in VR, like if you played Alex VR, Half-Life Alex, when you pick up that kind of glowworm at the beginning and you just, don't we all just spend like 5 minutes like just looking at the glowworm, picking it up, because it's like, wow, this is magical. There's some parts of that always in VR, or often in VR, that get you like that. The carbon fibre shrouding here over the steering column in front of my wheel is like that glowworm in Half-Life Alex. Like the way I can see the weave, the reflections coming off it, the contrast with the metal kind of releasing in front of it is absolutely incredible. Overshooting all our braking markers. And the promised land here is virtual reality endurance. I mean, virtual reality endurance, where if they can do a virtual reality split, and come on Pimax, you've got to make that happen. You know, how incredible would it be here to know that everyone's in VR? Let's try and hit some apexes for once. Ah! The first time I got a warning! 396 goes defensive. We'll go to the outside. Ride some of that curb. I mean, having driven a GT car in real life, in a circuit a little bit like this, we're kind of in the desert, I have to say, like, it's just so good, and my wheelbase is just working quite nicely at the moment for the force feedback here. Like, I'm really, really, really enjoying this. Like, this for me is a, apart from the frame rate, this is a better experience for me than iRacing, than the equivalent experience in iRacing, kind of offline. That is, I just realised that's quite a big statement. I feel like because this corner's uphill, you should be sending it in, but then I always end off like off camber here. There must be some camber change. Feeling VR, you can feel the grip a little bit more. It's not like the sensation when you're driving a car and you can actually feel your body inertia changing. It's not like that at all. But I feel like it's better than looking at a 2D screen. But that's very subjective. We are P10 at the moment, and we're going to be in the slipstream of this Mustang with a little bit of damage. Looking at my oil temperature, water temperature, lap time difference, a little bit faster this lap. Yeah, Aston with a very different line to me. Is that Barrichello in the Aston? The thing is, I do need to make you aware, if you're looking at this thinking, wow, this is incredible. Yes, it is incredible, but just bear in mind, like, I am a VR expert, so to speak. There is setup required for these headsets normally. Although I have to say today, I just connected it, jumped in, and it's just worked. But that is an anomaly. Normally you're going into like Steam VR or whatever, you're changing the, you know, the resolution in your headset, scaling, trying to turn on little bits and bobs to get you a few frames here and there. You know, it's all a lot of tinkering. Right, here come the hypercars. It's going to be Kubica. I think. Are we getting flashed? Goes Alpine. There goes Kubica in the yellow. AF Corsa Ferrari. I mean, this right now. Put an Apple emoji if you're watching the video as I speak, because this right now I think is going to be the promised land for Lemon Ultimate if they can get it. These sort of endurance races where you got multi-class, like this has to be where they're going to be top trumps. It has to be. This is their way to take on iRacing. I do have to say I'm enjoying driving the GT3s more than the hypercars. Like, I'm not convinced about the hypercar model in LMU. Like, I think the GT3 model might actually be the best thing about it. Then you have the option of jumping into a hypercar, but if I was going to recommend someone to drive something for the first time in LMU, right now I'd probably say this Mercedes AMG. The latest free car. Like, this is absolutely fantastic. Earl Bamber's going to be coming in the Cadillac. I can get my mirror here. Oh, no. Rear view all full of BMW. There we go. Oh, there's the Cadillac. Absolute chaos. Look at this. There's another. Oh, no. Take some of that, Earl Bamber. Look at the the radar coming in. Clutch now. Oh, I'll be taken out by the hypercar! Oh my god! I've been taken out by the hypercar. Surely the Alpine. Surely the Alpine there. Here I am, stranded. Oh my days. By the way, have a look how good the car model is here. Now we don't need to worry about frame rate. I mean, I'm going to park it here. I'm going to save space. So imagine you should do in a endurance race. If it is GG's with suspension. Okay, there we go. Have a look at the car detail. Have a look. Oh, look at the sky. This is what annoys me about Gran Turismo, because Gran Turismo were like, oh, we can't do that sky because not all the stars are in the right place. We don't care. Like, just give us a nice sky like this at Bahrain. It feels hot. I can almost smell the petrol. Like, almost. My rear wings come off as well, hasn't it? The big wang on the back. You can see through the windshield onto the bonnet as well. There's a little bathroom there. Perfectly timed. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. And please make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want more honest opinion about, you know, Lemon Ultimate and VR sim racing. Thanks to Pimax for giving us a sponsored headset. We'll do more content with it, as you know. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.